day 2 in Wichita Mountains. I had to stop yesterday because my camera died. I couldn't finish filming, but we're off to a new start today. So at this point in my trip, it dawned on me that I need to invest in a GoPro or an action camera. It's darn near impossible to climb holding a cell phone. Matter of fact, it's pretty dangerous. I actually had to put it in my pocket for the full duration of the climb. Well, I kind of got to the top. I just got to get on top of that giant boulder there. You see how far I climbed. And I know I said this before, but this does not look like Oklahoma. It has more of a Colorado feel. And in this morning light, when these rocks turn orange, it feels a lot like Utah. Just to try to give you an idea of how high up I am. That little dot there off in the distance, that's my car. Alright, now I'm at my next stop. I'm going through the back end of Sharon's garden just to see the apple and the pear, get a glimpse of crab eyes from a distance. And I'll be heading on to the visitor center and getting out of here, going on to Turner Falls after this. This rock here reminds me of one of the heads from Easter Island. Pretty cool. Some pretty impressive boulders. There is the apple and the pear, and right there at the very top is the arch. Actually leaving Sharon's garden right now. This place was beautiful. Rocks are huge. I just got to a point where you gotta make some pretty big jumps, and you probably wouldn't make it back. You'd have to go all the way to the end, which is about 4 miles away. And I wasn't into doing that, unless you can find a cave system or something. But now, going back to my car, on to the next stop. So the first place I wound up at after the Witchita Wildlife Refuge is a little place called Turner Falls. Turns out, not so little. 77-foot waterfall, largest in Oklahoma. Turner Falls is a state park, runs about $8 to $16 depending on the time of year. It's pretty cool, has a castle, a couple of caves, waterfall, and even an arch, which I was real excited to find out about. And it looks like I just found the arch here at Turner Falls. This is the Turner Falls Arch. Let's see if we can get a view of the waterfall through it. There we go. That's how high we're up. Right there. Pretty cool. You can see how tall this thing actually is. Just to give you a scale of the size. Right now I'm at the castle here at Turner Falls, which I don't know much on the history, just really cool old castle. The castle was constructed back in the 1930s by a man named Dr. Ellsworth Collings. Collins was the dean of the education department at the University of Oklahoma. and also a very famous author at the time. The castle was left abandoned back in the 1980s and has been a part of the state park for quite some time. This place was really neat and extremely packed. It was spring break. I did have to buy my tickets a few weeks in advance, but it was hard just to get a shot with nobody in it. Rumor has it that this place is haunted, but then again, what castle isn't? You probably just have to spend the night here, find out for yourself. Looks like there's another structure up here, another castle. A smaller one. That whooshing sound you just heard is actually a zip line that goes across the canyon from one side to the other over the waterfall into the castle. This thing seems to go on forever here. There's still another lower structure I didn't see, but it's still going up pretty far. Just gonna keep going till it's done. All in all, Turner's Falls turns out to be pretty badass, pretty amazing. Huge waterfall, pretty easy to get to. Lots of escapes, really cool rocks. Had a good time here. On to the next spot. So I'm at my final stop here in Oklahoma, and this is Natural Falls State Park. And I'm walking up to a big waterfall right now. Here it is, Natural Falls. Turns out this one's at 77 feet as well. What makes it different for Turner Falls is that Turner Falls produces a larger volume of water, making it the largest waterfall in Oklahoma. This place is pretty wheelchair accessible. There is a ramp that goes all the way down to the bottom. There's the lookout point where I'm at. And there's actually a bridge that goes all the way from one canyon to the other, with excellent views on all of them. There's a cool little concrete path to get down to the bottom of the falls. Looks like they got a lot of information sections if you're curious about what's going on. I personally don't. I'm just here to see the falls. But I'm definitely going to stay here till sunset, which is just a couple hours. I got parking here for the night, so I'm good to go. I'm going to play some disc golf after this and maybe eat and then go get some better pictures. The place is called Natural Falls State Park, but the water is being pumped up through this pipe all the way to the top of the waterfall, and it's making it fake. It might have been real to a degree, but it definitely doesn't flow like this all year round. But, no, still pretty cool. There's a lot of waterfalls everywhere here, but I do start to think a lot of it's just piped in certain places that make it look cool. I actually wound up going off trail a little bit and going through the canyon. There's actually about 6 waterfalls altogether. A couple of them you can't see unless you do go off trail, like the ones we're looking at now. Also rumored to be an arch here in this location, but I've gone up and down both sides of the canyon and I haven't found anything yet. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's actually a little waterfall inside that cave. So I'm here down at the bottom of the waterfall. It's actually really cool. It's like almost like a pirate movie. It's Pirate Cove, kind of situation going on. I'll turn it around here. Really neat. Kind of goes through this section here. You can see the waterfalls there. Really awesome. There are some guided walkways that I kind of ignored and did my own path. Get some better shots and finding some better places to go. But you can see the sun is starting to go down. And get my stop in that to go to sleep. Finally been looking around this place for about an hour trying to find this arch. I finally found it. It is super small. There it is. Not the smallest one I've ever seen, but definitely pretty small. You could probably crawl through it and that's about it. But it's an arch. I gotta see it. So I guess earlier when I saw the water pipes going up to the top is for these cabins up top, little teepees. There is actually a stream that feeds the waterfall. So this is actually legit. It's natural. All right, that's it for me and my Oklahoma trip. Tomorrow I'm gonna be going heading into Arkansas, then back into Missouri. I'm just gonna do a couple caverns, but I'm not gonna add them in this video. This is all strictly Oklahoma. Did I say my Oklahoma trip or did I say my Arkansas trip? It's my Oklahoma trip, it's over. I'm gonna do a little disc golf. I'm gonna take a nap. Until next time. Go on a little rant here about Oklahoma toll system. I went through about 10 toll booths on my way where I was going and back, averaging about $2 to $5 each time. If I had to get off and get gas, I had to pay. Get back on the freeway, had to pay. Eventually it wound up costing me like 25 bucks. You know, you get refunds here and there, but just a drive out to Wichita Mountains and back. Now I understand that they use this money to help pay for their streets, but here's the thing, their streets suck. Oklahoma has the worst streets anywhere that I've ever seen. They need to just charge people state tax, use that state tax to pay for the roads like, you know, everywhere else. It seems like every state that has toll booths have the worst streets. And as soon as I crossed over into Arkansas, it was like driving on glass. I mean, it was smooth. You could tell the difference. You know, in Oklahoma, I mean, I thought my car was gonna shake apart. I've seen dirt roads that were better than some of the highways they had. But anyways, that's just a rant.